Hey, church, coming at you again for within the Sermon on the Mount here. Today we're in chapter 5, verses 27 to 30. We just got done talking about hating somebody in our heart is just as bad as murdering them. And Jesus isn't done with that. He wants to make sure that our hearts and our minds and our actions all line up in the kingdom principles and that our relationship with Him and our relationship with others is good. And so he continues in verse 27. He says, "You have heard it said, 'You shall not commit adultery,' but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and put it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than the whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell." And Jesus, again, not mincing words, he's like, look, you've heard it said, don't commit adultery, right? That's one of the big 10 out of the 10 commandments. And he says, you've heard it said, don't commit adultery. But I say to you, if you look at a woman lustfully, you've already committed adultery in your heart. Oh, man, that's hard hitting, right? Because just like hating somebody in our heart, man, we've done that. And when it comes to looking lustfully at a woman, I'm going to speak to the guys right here, right now. That, yeah, whenever we look at a woman lustfully, Jesus is saying you've already committed adultery in your heart. Anytime you view pornography, anytime you do any of that stuff, you're sinning in your heart. You're already committing adultery in your heart. For those of you who know me, you know that for a long time I struggled with pornography in high school and beyond that. It took a long time to get over that. And in fact, it's a constant renewing of my mind and saying to myself, look, I'm not going to do that. I honor my wife too much to do that. I honor my family too much to do that. I want to honor God too much to go down that road. And far too often, it's too easy to fall into that trap of, oh, well, it's not hurting anybody. But Jesus says, yes, it is. If you've done that, you're already beginning to commit adultery in your heart. It's so easy to think, man, what I'm doing isn't going to hurt anybody. It's just between me, well, and God, right? David said, against you and you alone have I sinned. Really, anytime we sin, it doesn't matter if we think we're hurting somebody or not. We grieve God every time we sin. And David said, look, I know that my sin hurts you. And because I want to live a right life, I'm going to choose not to sin. I think it was Job who said, I've made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at another woman. What do we got to do? Because Jesus said, man, if your eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out. Now, please hear me. I'm not telling you to do that. But what are the things that maybe you need to get rid of so that you don't fall into those temptations? You don't fall into those traps. Maybe you need to give up internet access for a while. Maybe you need to get some accountability software on your phone. Maybe it's you need to make sure the computer isn't someplace hidden. Maybe it's making sure that when you go out places, you got somebody that maybe goes with you to kind of hold you accountable on that something. What are you going to do to make sure that you're not in jeopardy of going to hell because of the way that you look at somebody or the thoughts that you have about them? Now, here's the thing. I say I'm talking to the guys, but I'm also talking to the ladies on this because it's true that the women that are going into pornography is growing almost faster than guys getting into pornography. It's out there, and it's something we have to address. It's the it's the gateway drug, if you will, for most people going online and viewing pornography. Even during this time of COVID-19, media reports of the people that are logging on to pornographic websites is going through the roof. That isn't right, right? I mean, Jesus says, if you want to be my follower, that's what you need to put those things aside. So, church, what do you got to do? What do you got to do to make things right? I love what Job said again. I've made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at another woman. Man, what do we need to do to keep ourselves looking up to God? May God go with you this day. May you be encouraged. May you be strengthened. May you be challenged. May we grow closer to God and may we be more like Jesus every step of the way. God be with you this day.